sciences, the various schools of logic and metaphysics, the blessed archives, the astro-scryers, hermetic oratory, esoteric geometry, the seekers, and other branches of study. All served in one way or another the greater purpose of the fellowship: the gathering, study, cataloging, and securing of the most powerful arcane artifacts in existence. It was an auspicious gathering of some of the world's most brilliant minds. Yet Erlock Grail focused on only one of their number: Hierarch Malgurza, Master of the Key. Her dark skin was heavily lined, and her once ebony hair was now mostly gray. Malgurza was a legend among the adepts of Helia. She didn't appear at every year's choosing ceremony, but when she did, it was always to embrace a new apprentice into the inner circle. The baton of choosing was brought forth. It was passed first to Hierarch Malgurza, the most honored master present. She took it in one gnarled hand, causing a ripple of murmurs among the students. Malgurza would indeed choose an apprentice this day, and the ghost of a smile curled Grail's thin lips. The elderly woman cast her hawkish gaze across the gathered hopefuls, who held their breaths as one. Whoever was named would be marked for greatness, joining a hallowed elite cadre, their future assured. Erlock Grail's fingers twitched in anticipation. This was his moment. He was already half-stepping forward when the hierarch finally spoke, her voice husky, like oak-aged spirits.
Tyrus of Hellismore.
Grail blinked. For a second he thought there must have been some mistake before the cold reality of his rejection washed over him, like a bucket of frigid water to the face. There was a delighted whoop from the chosen student, along with a burst of whispers and gasps. The newly named apprentice stepped forward amid a flurry of slaps on the back and ran up the steps of the amphitheater to take his place behind Hierarch Malgurza, a broad smile on his smug face. Grail made no outward reaction, though he had gone dangerously still. The rest of the ceremony went by in a dull, surreal blur. The baton of choosing passed from master to master, each choosing a new apprentice. Name by name, the crowd of hopefuls around Grail dwindled until he stood alone. The sea of masters and former peers stared down at him like a jury ready to announce his execution. His hands did not twitch now. Shame and hatred writhed within him like a pair of serpents locked in a death struggle. With a click of finality, the baton of choosing was sealed back within its ceremonial case and borne away by golden-robed attendants.
Erlock Grail,
announced Bartek, his eyes smiling.
No master has spoken for you, yet the fellowship is nothing if not benevolent. A place has been secured for you, one that will, it is hoped, teach you some much-needed humility, and at least a modicum of empathy. In time, perhaps, one of the masters may deign to take you on.
Where? Interrupted Grail, eliciting murmurs and tuts, but he did not care. Bartek looked down his bulbous nose at him. His expression was that of a man who had inadvertently stepped upon something distasteful.
You will serve as a minor assistant to the Wardens of Thresholds,
he declared, malice gleaming in his eyes. There were smirks and stifled laughter among his former peers. The Threshers, as the student body derisively called them, were the lowest of the low, both literally and figuratively, those who guarded and patrolled the lowest depths of the vaults beneath Helia. Their ranks consisted of those who had earned the ire of the masters, whether through gross political misstep or misdemeanor, and any others whom the fellowship wished out of the way. Down in the darkness, they could be forgotten. They were a joke, an embarrassment. Bartek's patronizing voice droned on, but Grail barely heard his words. In that moment, he swore that this was not the end. He would serve among the wardens and ensure that his worth was noticed, such that none of these